Hey everybody, what's up? I'm Travis, CityBoy, whatever you want to call me. And it was a little slow MMA day, so I figured we could do a little video show. I asked on Facebook, our fan page, some questions from people and see what we can come up with. I'll try to be as honest as I can, and it'll be a good video. Have a good time. Have some fun. Okay, we only got a couple questions, so I made up some of myself. And the first one was, how do we get our nicknames? Jeremy is called the Boss. He is the co-owner of Team Ravenous, and he's the coach. He teaches jiu-jitsu and wrestling and basically MMA. So they all call him the Boss. That's how that came about. And I don't like driving in the city, so Joe thought it'd be funny to call me City Boy, and it stuck, and I like it. So that's how that came about. And Joe does a lot of the video stuff, so I decided to call him, and he's really good at taking photos, so I decided rather to call him the artist. And he didn't really like it at first, but then I told him that if anyone gives him any grief, just tell him you like to paint people's faces bloody, and then he kind of liked it, so that stuck. And the only other nickname that we have is Ed Warchild. We call him Warchild. He takes photos for us occasionally, and he trains once in a while at the gym. That's how they came up with it. So you can make fun of him if you want, because he's a part-time trainer, but I guess you could really make fun of me too, because I never train. So next question, why did we start doing teasers? Nobody asked this question. I asked it. It was the way we used to do teasers on westernmassma.com seemed to be more very sporadic. It was just kind of, it wasn't a regular thing, and we get some criticism once in a while if we're biased and things like that, which is absolutely not true. We are not. It was just kind of sporadic in how we felt on doing it, which wasn't the best way. So I decided one day that I'm just going to do teasers for everybody, and then everybody will have them, and people seem to like them a lot. They're very popular on our site, so I'm going to continue doing them. And it is a little challenging at times because I don't know everything about all the fighters, so I have to look it up. So I'm going to take the time to give everyone a shout out. Please take the time and go to SureDog.com and MixedMartialArts.com and set up a profile and give them your info and keep it up to date, because it's selling you as a fighter. And people want to look up information about their opponents and different things like that, and it's good to have it up to date. And also, it could have some information there that's inaccurate, and as a fighter, you want that to be accurate. They could have you as extra losses, and you wouldn't want that, would you? Okay, next question. Did Randy Smith vacate the AFO heavyweight title? Now, I don't know all the details on this. I do know that AFO, when we're at their show, they announced that Randy Smith is fighting John Johnston on the June 22nd card. And then later I find out that Randy Smith is fighting on the Fight Night Main against Tim Sylvia, which I'm sure you guys have all heard about. Now, I asked Pete, and then Pete has announced, Pete DiLorenzo from AFO, that John Johnston is fighting another guy. I don't remember. I'll talk about that later. And I asked him if it's for the heavyweight title, and he said yes. So as far as I know, it's not Randy Smith's choice, but AFO has the right to take away the title and have it up for grabs if Randy Smith isn't defending it very many times, which I don't. I'm sure it's not Randy Smith's choice, but that's the way it's come about. So I don't know what's going on behind the scenes, but that's about as much as I know on that situation. Either way, there are going to be some good fights coming up in the heavyweight division, and if you're like me, you will enjoy the heavyweight fights. Next question. Can I find opponents for Ricardo George and Anis? No, I can't find you opponents. I'm not a matchmaker, but I can announce it here, so maybe some fighters will see this and want to step up and fight them. And as you all know, Ricardo and Tyson Chartier, they all have problems finding opponents, and they drop out. There's all sorts of different things that happen. Why? Because they were really good amateurs. Ricardo was 7-1 as an amateur, and I think I could be wrong, but I think Tyson was 7-0 as well. And so I guess the moral of the story is, don't be such a good amateur fighter, and you can get some pro fights. Kidding, of course, but just be patient. to both of you fighters, something will happen, and you guys will get some fights. And next question is, why do Brittany Palmer's farts smell golden? That I don't really know the answer to, but if we get to go the opportunity to go to the UFC, cover the show, I will try to find out that question for you. Okay. Next thing is, I just want to go over like some fights because there's been a lot of changes that have happened. Of course, you guys all know that Cage Titans is happening this weekend on May 5th. It's going to be a really good show. I don't know if you guys know or not, but on our main page, on the menu bar, there's a thing that says upcoming local shows or fight cards. Just click on that, and that'll bring you up to a file where I update almost every day or every couple days when I hear about fights happening, and it has a list of all the fights that are coming up. And if you have any trouble accessing that, let me know. I think sometimes I see an error that says you need a Google account, which shouldn't happen because it's all public. So, but if you do need to sign up, just sign up for a Google account. It's free, and then you can see it. And for Cage Titans coming up, they had a few fight changes. Stephen Langlis was supposed to fight Shannon Soares, but I guess that both schools are real close to each other, and they work together, so they didn't really want to fight. So now Stephen Langlis is fighting John Healy, which I just saw John Healy fight he's from the shop, and I just saw him fight a couple weekends ago at Fight Night Maine, and he put on a really good show, so I'm sure that's going to be a really good fight. And then Vavka Clay from Triumph MMA is making his amateur debut against Shannon Soares, so that's going to be a good fight. So everybody get your tickets and go to Cage Titans. We will be there. The artist, and I think Chuck's going to be there, so they're going to have a good time. For Premier C, they have announced some fights. They announced Igor Batista from Team Link is fighting Mike De Los Rios from Team Dexter. As anyone who's gone to AFO shows knows, Mike De Los Rios, he puts on a really good show every time he fights. He's very entertaining, and that should be a good fight. That's going to be at the 130-pound catchweight. And then they also announced Isaiah Gomez from Sit Your Down North Shore will be taking on Josh Smith from Jiu-Jitsu Nation. That'll be at a catchweight of 160 pounds. They also announced Sarah Payon from Gladiator BJJ will be taking on Christina Hauk from Team Bomb Squad. Sorry if I pronounced her name wrong. That should be a good fight. Reality for the fight so far, I have John Naples versus Eric Lee, Matt the Mangler Bassett versus Andres Judy, and Brett O'Terry versus Nate Lamont. Those are 3 really good fights, and I'm anxious to see some more fights that are going to be on that card. I'm sure it's going to be awesome, because they always are. And then CES doing a good job announcing their fights. So far, I've seen Joe Pingatoir versus Franklin Isabel, and Ryan Quinn versus Abner Laveras. Those are going to be 2 really good fights, so anxious for that one. And then AFO for June 22nd, they announced, as I said before, John Johnston from Sit Down will be fighting Conan Manka. I believe he's from New York. I don't know anything else about him as a fighter, but it's going to be a good battle, I'm sure. And then Steve the Sandman Dunn against Joe Powers. That's going to be another good fight for AFO, which is on June 22nd, so stay tuned, and it'll be a good time. I think that's all I have for today, so we might do some more shows. Maybe I'll get some guests with me, maybe the artist, or Jeremy. We can talk about some upcoming fights. I don't know. Just let me know if you guys enjoy this, and click subscribe to our thing so you can see as soon as we upload some new videos, you all can see it. And give me some more questions to answer, and we'll have a good time. Till next time, take it easy.